Penny's husband had found her body. He'd walked into that field, saw her lying on the ground and thought she was sunbathing. He even said to me himself that he doesn't think he will ever get over this.
On the 2nd of September 2014, the body of Penny Davies was found in a field near to where she rode her horses on the Bewley estate, just outside Southampton.
Pete Davies, the husband of Penny, he arranged to meet Penny at the farm. He parked up, crossed over into the field, and he could see what he thought was Penny lying down on the field. As he approached closer, he realised that she wasn't moving and something terrible had happened. He got up close to her, he could see blood was coming from her, and he just broke down. He rang 999, called the ambulance, called the police. The police arrived, and obviously we found Penny there, lifeless, and commenced our investigations. Fast forward 12 hours, having discovered Penny's body, we established that she had actually been stabbed 14 times. And so at that point I was very clear that this was a homicide investigation. There was no accidental death in relation to this. There was no consideration that Penny had taken her own life. Near to Penny's body was a car key and a £1 coin. When I'm looking at that evidence, what I'm thinking is this probably isn't a robbery because the car hasn't been taken, the handbag hasn't been taken. So this is a personal attack against Penny, and we need to establish who's done this and why they've done it.
Initially, the police dismissed the car key. However, it would soon become crucial to unlocking this case, as with the help of a local resident, who just happened to spot something unusual in Bewley on the evening of the 2nd of September 2014. Tony, who has lived in the vicinity all his life, has agreed to speak about these traumatic events on condition of anonymity.
I looked down this road and I noticed a silver hatchback parked here.
Right here?
Exactly here, yes. I thought I'd take a photograph of this car, just in case it shouldn't have been here.
At first, the car on the bridge didn't seem particularly relevant. But then, a few hours later, something happened that meant Tony's discovering and quick thinking was about to break this case wide open.
I heard my crime scene manager talking to a fellow forensic examiner, and they were looking at the crime scene photos, and he shouted out, "What car has the husband got?" And someone shouted back, "Oh, it's a Skoda." He then said, "Well, this is a Vauxhall key." And so my ears prick up and I sort of run out of my office and say, "What was that?" Having had the registration number of the car, we checked it out on our police national computer to make sure it wasn't stolen, and it wasn't. But there's also intelligence on our system that suggested that the vehicle had been stopped a couple of times by local police, whereby a male by the name of Justin Robertson was driving the vehicle. And he was a low-level petty thief, small-time drug dealer. When we start doing the work on the phones, we see that there's a particular number that has a lot of contact with Robertson leading up to Penny's murder. And we do some work on that, and that comes back to a lad called Ben Carr.
Ben Carr might not have been a name that was known to the police. However, it was a name that Penny's family was all too familiar with. On being questioned by the police, they disclosed that he was in effect Penny's stepson from a previous long-term relationship, which she'd had with Ben's father, Tim, from 2005 to 2012. Penny's relationship with Ben had never been terribly good, and after the relationship with Tim ended acrimoniously, it became even worse.
We looked at Penny's laptop and we found that about a week or so before the murder, she had used Facebook Messenger to contact a female who we then established was the wife-to-be of Tim Carr. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. It was a bit of a rant from Penny to this lady saying, "I hope you know what you're getting yourself into. Do you know what Ben Carr's like? Are you aware that he committed indecent assault in the past? I'm going to get him arrested and I'm going to ruin your wedding."